This is Joy of Heaven, Saint of the Day for November 28th, as we celebrate the feast of Saint Catherine Laboure's Day. Saint Catherine Laboure was a French religious sister who lived in the 1800s. She was a member of the Daughters of Charity of St Vincent de Paul. During her lifetime, Saint Catherine Laboure received visions of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Saint Catherine Laboure is well known for creating the Miraculous Medal, at the request of Mary. Saint Catherine Laboure was born in 1806 in France. Her father was a farmer, and she had 10 siblings. When Catherine was 9 years old, her mother died. At the funeral of her mother, Catherine is said to have picked up a statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary and announced that Mary would now be her mother. As a child, those around her saw that Catherine was very devout and somewhat whimsical. She was also very intuitive. When Catherine was still young, she chose to enter the Daughters of Charity of St Vincent de Paul. She chose this religious community because she had a dream about St Vincent de Paul. In 1830, when Catherine was a 24-year-old novice, Catherine's order was preparing for the transfer of St Vincent de Paul's remains to a Vincentian church in Paris. On 3 evenings in a row when Catherine returned to the convent chapel, she saw a vision of St Vincent's arm above a shrine that contained his relics. About 3 months later, Catherine woke up hearing a voice that sounded like a child. The voice was calling her to the chapel. In the chapel, she heard the Blessed Virgin Mary tell her that God wished to give Catherine a mission. Mary went on to tell Catherine that Catherine would be contradicted but should not be afraid, and that God would give Catherine the grace to do what he wanted of her. About 4 months after this, Catherine received a vision of Mary during evening meditations. Catherine saw the Blessed Virgin inside an oval frame, standing on the earth. There were light rays coming out of Mary's hands toward the earth. The words, "O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to thee," were around the frame. Catherine then saw the image rotate, revealing 12 stars in a circle and the letter M attached to a cross. Beneath this was an image of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Mary told Catherine to tell her confessor that this image should be put on medallions, and that all who wear them would receive great graces. Catherine obeyed these instructions, and her confessor began the process of investigation into the matter. After the matter was brought to her archbishop, the request to have the medallions made was approved. For the next 40 years of her life, Catherine worked caring for the aged and infirm. She died in 1876, and her body was later found to be incorrupt. Saint Catherine Laboure's feast day is on November 28th. Saint Catherine Laboure is the patron saint of the Miraculous Medal. You can ask for her prayers if you are seeking to cultivate devotion to Mary through the Miraculous Medal, in your own life or in the lives of others. Saint Catherine Laboure is also the patron saint of the elderly. You can seek her intercession on behalf of a loved one who is elderly, or if you yourself are elderly. Additionally, Saint Catherine Laboure is the patron saint of the infirm. You can ask for her intercession if you are infirm, or for someone you know who is infirm. Thank you.
Thank you.